Welcome to Module 3, the last section of Module 3, Section C. Thank you so much for being here with me today.
I'm so excited to have you.
You have been doing such a good job. You've been stating vision for your marriage. You made your vision boards. You're stating those visions for your marriage as if they're already true on a routine basis, and you're closing your eyes and imagining those things happening as if they're already happening in the present tense. And then in addition to that, you are adding these beautiful gratitudes. And so I would love to congratulate you for working so hard on your marriage and seeing that your marriage is fixable, and that even though you probably still have times when you feel like you love and hate your spouse, I love you and I hate you, and you wonder if you should stay with your spouse. I love that you're keeping that vision in the forefront of your mind and having this beautiful image that's continuously in front of you, and just trusting in that image and trusting in the process. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for being here with me and working so hard on this and helping me to be successful in helping you by working so hard on your relationship and keeping your family together. And what a beautiful thing that is. And this is a rare commodity. So you are a true delight, a true diamond, a true warrior, really fighting for your relationship and your marriage and your family. Beautiful. So for this section, we're going to talk about the issues that will come up. There's going to be moments where there's going to be discussions that you're going to have that are going to be challenging for you. Middle of that discussion that you might have, or argument, before you allow it to become an argument, I would love to just remind you that often when a person is complaining or criticizing, they are really just desperately in search for love. They are desperately in search for love and to be noticed. So they really just need to be noticed. And since this is your beautiful self-improvement project, I would love to invite you to notice your spouse's need for love. And when they criticize or complain, I would love for you to acknowledge that they do love you and they are simply struggling right now. And to find the hidden meaning underneath the suffering that they are kind of putting out there at you, and it hurts and it's painful. So I would love for you to acknowledge that and just say to them, these are the magic words you're going to say. So we're going to say, I hear you, like we discussed earlier. But in addition to saying, I hear you and you're right, hopefully you can say you're right. I would love to see that happen. I hear you, and you know what I love about you? And you're going to state your gratitudes. You're going to state your gratitude and your vision together, or just a gratitude and your vision. So for instance, if the conversation went something like this: honey, why are the dishes always dirty, and why is the house always a mess when I get back? I work so hard at work all day long, and when I get back, the house is a mess. The kids have just made a big disaster. You are not cleaning up after yourself. You're not doing your part, or whatever it is your spouse might say. And then in response to that, you would say, I hear you, and you're right. I am struggling to keep up with this mess. And you know what I really love about you? Is that you are so clean and organized. You know what I really love about you? I love that you always notice the good things about me, and you're willing to put up with the things that are less great. Thank you so much. You know what I really love about us? Is that we are so bonded and connected and madly in love. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And you will believe the magic that will occur because of you noticing the good things about your spouse, especially after they said something possibly negative about you or something that causes you grief. And when you do that flip, when you do that complete reversal of the conversation without allowing yourself to be caught up in the suffering that they are trying to put on you, or it feels like they're trying to put on you, without being sucked into the argument. Instead, you just state these beautiful things about your spouse. And then you can even say, you can even walk away And this miracle will happen. And that is that your spouse will suddenly feel so close to you and so loved by you and really appreciated by you, especially if you say things about them that you love about them. And then they will no longer feel the need to criticize. And often the reason why our spouses are being critical is because somebody else has been critical with them, or they've been critical with themselves. Not necessarily aloud, but internally. We have a lot of negative thoughts. Like, I don't know if you've heard the statistics, but it's somewhere around 85% of our thoughts can be negative. And so sometimes our spouse will come home or come to us with these negative thoughts. And it's not that they're intending to try to bring us down, though I have thought that many times that my spouse was trying to make me miserable. They're not actually trying to do that. He's just trying to feel loved. And so that is your job in that moment when they start expressing these negative things, is for you to state the things you love about them. And you may even say something like, yeah, I know I'm not super good at keeping the house perfectly clean or the kids fed in a timely way, or whatever it is that the complaint was. I'm not super good at whatever the complaint is. But what I love about you is that you, and then state all the things that you love about them. And even if they are not that good at the thing that they are criticizing you for, you can still find positive things to say to your spouse. And miracles do happen when that occurs, and these beautiful memories will be created and the bonding will be recreated. So that concludes our class, I Love You, I Hate You, Should I Stay With My Spouse? And I'm hoping that at the end of this class, you have decided that your marriage is salvageable. I hope you feel empowered to take the marriage bull by the horns and take this amazing opportunity that you have to grow and to use this information that I provided for you to become the person that you want to be in your relationship, the husband or wife that you want to be, the empowered woman or man who stands up for his or her relationship and his family, his or her family, in a very empowered and productive way, and does not allow the past to dictate the future, and recognizes that there's so much that you can do to make your relationship beautiful. And even if you haven't had a huge amount of success yet, I hope that the things that you have learned in this class have really empowered you to recognize that you can have success if you're willing to put out the effort. And I just want to, as a side note, remind you that it took me an entire year of coach training to learn these skills and to implement them. And I implemented them throughout the training, obviously, but I struggled a lot. Like, the habits that I had created over the course of my marriages, twice married, and that I had learned from my parents were deeply ingrained. And it was very hard for me to just be able to be present with my husband when I spoke to him, to be able to state gratitudes and to state my vision for my relationship, because I had programmed in my mind these ways of reacting to my husband's behavior. So it was very hard for me to push that outside of me, just those words outside of my consciousness, and not take offense immediately. So if it doesn't come immediately to you, or if you don't have instant success, I would love you to keep trying and keep reminding yourself that you can apologize. And even if they are still to blame, you just apologize for your part, and then you can just keep working on recreating that connection and that bond and that madly in love feeling by stating your gratitudes and your vision, and being unconditionally loving and apologizing as needed throughout your relationship. And if you need any help at all, if you need coaching, I would love for you to visit me on my website, www.hawaiihappinessfarm.com, or email me at hawaiihappinessfarm@gmail.com. And I would love to catch up with you and discuss with you the coaching options that are available and the retreat packages that I have and the class options that are available, and so that you have more information at your fingertips and more value. This class was meant to be a short class, so I wasn't able to include even half of the skills that we teach in our program, but I'm hoping that this little bit will empower you enough that you're able to make changes in your relationship and to have a better relationship just with the skills that I've taught. And I did try to include the ones that I thought would have the most impact the fastest. Loving yourself first and dating yourself first, because you're much more available for your spouse. And then to just be able to apologize and say, I hear you. And to be able to state your vision for your relationship, present tense, to your spouse and to yourself, and to visualize that. And those are the most powerful skills that I have been able to use that make a really quick difference. But there are many other skills that you can use on a case basis when you are struggling in your relationship. So I invite you to my website, and we would love to serve you in any way at all that we can. And thank you so much for being a part of this class today.